Sega, officially known as Sega Corporation, is one of the most iconic names in the gaming industry. Its history is rich, spanning multiple decades and covering both remarkable achievements and notable failures. Sega's journey began in 1940 when it was founded as Standard Games in Honolulu, Hawaii, by Martin Bromley, Irving Bromberg, and James Humpert. Initially, the company focused on providing coin-operated amusement machines to military bases during World War II. After the war, the company relocated to Japan and eventually rebranded as Service Games of Japan. The name Sega emerged from a combination of the words service and games. In 1965, Sega merged with Rosen Enterprises, a company led by David Rosen, which specialized in importing and selling photo booths in Japan. This merger marked a turning point for Sega as it began to focus on developing its own arcade games. One of Sega's earliest successes came in 1966 with the release of Periscope, an electromechanical arcade game that simulated submarine warfare. The game was a massive hit and helped establish Sega's reputation in the amusement industry. The 1970s saw Sega's transition into video gaming. In 1981, Sega launched Turbo, a racing game that featured groundbreaking graphics for its time. Sega followed up with hits like Zaxxon in 1982, a game notable for its isometric graphics. These titles demonstrated Sega's innovation in arcade gaming, but the company's ambitions extended far beyond the arcade. In 1983, Sega entered the home console market with the SG-1000. While the system saw moderate success in Japan, it was overshadowed internationally by the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. However, Sega continued to refine its technology and released the Master System in 1985. The Master System offered superior graphics and sound compared to the NES, but struggled to gain significant market share in North America due to Nintendo's stronghold on the market and exclusive licensing deals with game developers. Sega's fortunes changed with the release of the Sega Genesis, known as the Mega Drive outside North America, in 1988. The 16-bit console was a technological leap forward and featured games with more detailed graphics and richer sound compared to its competitors. The Genesis saw its first major success with the release of Altered Beast, but it was the introduction of Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991 that propelled Sega to the forefront of the gaming industry. Sonic, with his speed and attitude, became an instant cultural phenomenon and a direct rival to Nintendo's Mario. The tagline "Genesis does what Nintendo" highlighted Sega's aggressive marketing strategy. The early 1990s were a golden era for Sega. The Genesis gained a significant foothold in North America, especially after the release of popular titles like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage, and Mortal Kombat. Sega also innovated with peripherals like the Sega CD and the 32X, although these add-ons received mixed reviews and failed to sustain long-term interest. Despite these missteps, the Genesis firmly established Sega as a major player in the gaming industry. Sega's next major venture was the Sega Saturn, released in Japan in 1994 and in North America and Europe in 1995. The Saturn was a powerful console designed for two-dimensional gaming, but its architecture made it difficult to develop for three-dimensional games. The abrupt and poorly planned North American launch, which surprised retailers and consumers alike, hurt its chances of success. Compounding the problem was the release of Sony's PlayStation, a direct competitor that offered better support for three-dimensional graphics and a more developer-friendly environment. Despite its failure in Western markets, the Saturn enjoyed moderate success in Japan, thanks to games like Virtua Fighter 2 and Panzer Dragoon Saga. With the Saturn's commercial failure in most markets, Sega poured its resources into developing the Dreamcast, which launched in Japan in 1998 and globally in 1999. The Dreamcast was ahead of its time, featuring a built-in modem for online gaming, a unique visual memory unit for additional interactivity, and a library of innovative games like Sonic Adventure, Shenmue and Soul Calibur. Despite critical acclaim and a strong initial launch, the Dreamcast struggled to compete with Sony's upcoming PlayStation 2, which promised superior hardware and DVD playback capabilities. Financial instability plagued Sega during the Dreamcast era. The company had overextended itself with the failures of the Sega CD, 32X and Saturn. The arrival of the PlayStation 2, coupled with the anticipation for Microsoft's Xbox and Nintendo's GameCube, pushed Sega further into a corner. By 2001, Sega announced that it would cease production of the Dreamcast and exit the console hardware business entirely. Sega's transition to a third-party developer and publisher marked a significant shift in its strategy. Freed from the hardware business, Sega focused on creating games for multiple platforms. Franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, Yakuza, and Total War became pillars of its portfolio. While the company faced challenges adapting to its new role, it gradually found its footing by delivering high-quality games and capitalizing on its legacy franchises. The 2000s and 2010s saw Sega reinvent itself. The Sonic the Hedgehog franchise continued to evolve with varying degrees of success. Titles like Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania received praise for capturing the essence of classic Sonic gameplay, while others like Sonic 2006 and Sonic Boom faced heavy criticism. Meanwhile, Sega expanded into new genres and markets, producing critically acclaimed series like Yakuza and partnering with studios like Creative Assembly to develop the Total War series. Today, Sega is a respected name in the gaming industry, known for its diverse portfolio and dedication to innovation. Its history serves as a testament to the challenges and opportunities of the gaming world. From its origins as a provider of coin-operated machines to its rise as a console manufacturer and eventual transformation into a third-party game developer, Sega's legacy is a story of resilience, creativity, and adaptation. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more stories and share your ideas for the next video in the comments.